Hey guys, my name is Damaris, reporting for Tembea Girls Academy, Kenya Bids for Education, September 2020, and welcome to today's bulletin. Well, today I just want to share with you a bit about our amazing, spectacular, supercalifragilistic experience in our 3 weeks workshop. I don't tell you about it that much, but you just stay tuned for this and more. Thank you.
My name is Rachel.
And I'm Ashley.
We are from Tembea Girls.
And our Bids for Education,
Kajiado, Kenya.
Thank you.
Well, during this 3 weeks workshop period, we had an experiment about worms. Worms are really nice and help during the process of decomposition. We started off with raising 3 basins. The first basin was to suspend the second basin, and the first basin had stones in it.
The second basin is placed on the first basin. It contained food crushed particles as cabbages and carrots. Later on, we added 2 to 3 worms and waited for them to multiply.
We also added cotton that is used to cover the worms so as to provide a good environmental condition.
The third basin is used to cover the second basin to prevent it from direct sunlight.
Worms produce waste by the name worm tea.
The worm tea is a good fertilizer. It's later on taken to the compost pit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Yvonne and my friends are Michelle and Marcy, and we are sponsored by Bids for Education. We are going to talk about the compost. The compost heap is made up of various layers. First layer is dry grass, green grass, kitchen refuse.
The second layer is dry grass, green grass, ashes.
The third layer is dry grass, topsoil. We sprinkle water to the compost. For oxygen. We add ashes to increase the level of potassium and phosphorus. We put soil to introduce bacteria.
The compost heap takes a month to be ready.
You can turn after 2 days so that it can decompose uniformly.
The temperature range is 35 to 78 degrees.
Remember, God is the one who takes a big part on running a farm or a garden. Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Rolene Oboy, and I'm Lucy. Yeah, we are going to talk about the eggshells. First and foremost, the eggshells are rich in calcium and other minerals. That's why we use them in our garden. I'm going to talk about how to use the eggshells in our farm. First, you crush the eggshells into small particles, and then you can sprinkle them so that to prevent the pests from the farm, and then you can use them to keep them in crops so that they can add calcium in it. And we use 1 eggshell per crop, and we apply the eggshells during the planting season and the plowing season. Yeah, I'm going to talk also about the advantages of using the eggshells. We use the eggshells so as to prevent snails from eating the plants like cabbages, and so as to divert them from certain pests so that we can't use the chemicals like the pests are like cutworms. Yes, and also we use the eggshells because they are cheap and easily affordable. Yeah.
Well, how do plants benefit from the eggshells? First, plants like peppers and tomatoes, the eggshells act like fertilizers to them. Second, in tomatoes, it prevents the end rot cases. Some of the signs and symptoms of plants lacking calcium are chlorosis. This is where the plant leaves turn to yellowish, greenish, We also have the interview chlorosis, necrosis. Yeah, that's all. Thank you, and put into action what we say.
Hey guys, I'm Charlene Omboy, a 12th grade student at Tembea Girls Academy.
I'm Florence Ekuri, a college girl student.
So both of us are sponsored by Beats for Education, and today we are going to share what we learned from a 3-week workshop at Tembea. So we learned about no-till gardening. In our farm here at Tembea, we don't till since we understand that tilling encourages the loss of nutrients in the soil and also the destruction of the soil structure. So we introduced a way of farming by use of cardboard, mulch, and compost. So we are going to discuss the importances of using those 3 things that I just named that we use in our farming. But what made us come with this idea is because of what happened in the United States, because of their poor habits of farming. And this was the catastrophe that did a lot of damage to our people at the United States called the Dust Bowl. So we are going to discuss the importances.
First important is less water. When we use less water in the farm, we use mulch. Mulch prevents the evaporation of water from the soil. Also, mulching prevents the direct sunlight from eating the soil and also the microorganisms that add nutrient to the soil. The next one is controlling of weeds. The weeds, when we use the cardboard presses the weeds in the soil. Therefore, there is no the water that is being used in the plant. And then the next one is less work.
So when we talk about less work, we are talking about what those importance of adjustments. So when you say we don't weed, it brings out that there's less work through our farming. So lastly,
thank you for our sponsors for the 3 weeks that we have spent here. It has been your support, and thank you a lot.
thank you.
Hello, I'm Ashley. And I am Rebecca. I want to share what we learned from our workshop, September 2020, Neuroscience of Happiness, that's referenced from the Book of Joy, written by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. We are majorly talking about empathy, and first we start by the 4 major circuits of the brain.
And the first one is resilience, the ability to recover from negative state. We all undergo challenges in our life, but it will all depend on how you are going to recover it. If you take too long to recover it, then you have a low resilience. But if you recover from it very fast, then your resilience is so high.
The second circuit of the brain is the emotional outlook. This is the ability to see the positive side of the world. A lot happened, a lot has been happening, but what are we encouraged to do? We measure on the positive side other than the negative side.
And the third one is attention or focus, the ability to stop our mind from wandering. Sometimes we have mind wandering. You think about toxic things that will not help you, so this circuit helps you not to think about so many things.
The last and major circuit is generosity. This is mainly the act of giving and being kind. It stands for the other circuits of the brain. Last but not least, the best way to cultivate a stable inner peace of mind is through meditation. If you want to release everything from mind, if you want to refrain from mind wandering, an ability to recover from the negative state, better do meditation, refrain your mind from thinking, and all will be well.
And our second point was self-advocacy. This is the ability of you speaking up for yourself. If you have any troubles, if you are not comfortable, if you are not okay with people, this is whereby you can advocate for yourself, speak out for yourself, and you're going to seek for help and you're going to get it.
Maybe to add on what she said, you can self-advocate when you want to make a change, when you want people to listen to you, and when you have a different opinion from others.
Yeah, we also had quotes from the Book of Joy. I would like to share with you some. The first one was, the more time you spend thinking about yourself, the more suffering you will experience.
The second quote, that's by the Dalai Lama. Whenever you find friends, that's your country. And whenever you find love, that's your home.
Yeah, and the third one was, if you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. Explain.
I can explain it. A mosquito is a very small insect. Whenever it bites you, you're going to experience pain and it can cause illness. So what does it tell us?
Whenever we make a small change, a petty change in our life, I might help my friend. And for now, it may not be of importance, but in life, she's gonna appreciate a lot, and it will make a change.
Yeah, and the last quote was, we can never obtain peace in the other world until you make peace with ourselves. You can never be at peace with people unless you have the inner peace of yourself. Yeah, that's all we had for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, Diana Simoy, Tembea Girls student, sponsored by Bids for Education, and today I'm going to take you through the various sources of energy. One of the ways to live in harmony with our environment is by conserving the environment. In my presentation, I'm going to talk about the various sources of energy and their impact to the environment. Various sources of energy include wind, solar, electricity, nuclear, and water. Wind and solar are readily available since they are provided by nature. They are free and friendly to the environment since they do not pollute the environment. Nuclear is the most dangerous source of energy, as witnessed earlier by the incidents of the accidents in some countries such as Japan and Britain. Electricity is friendly to the environment. It is easily controlled. It can be produced clean with entirely renewable methods such as wind, water, and sunlight. I can conclude by saying that we have choices to use energy that we want. Like here in our school, Tembea Girls, we are fully depending on the solar energy. Thank you.
My name is Rachel Macau from Tembea Girls Academy, Bids for Education, Kajiado, Kenya, and I'm from the 10th grade. Today I'll be discussing with you about living in harmony with the earth. We have to be the custodians of the environment. Today I'm going to discuss with you about pollution and majorly about pollution in the ocean. Plastics are commonly used in our day-to-day lives, and we use them for the packaging of water, food, and in the making of some containers. Where do you think all these plastics go? These plastics find their way into the ocean, and some are disposed directly into the ocean. It is estimated that in every 1 minute, a truck full of garbage is disposed into the ocean. Plastics do not decompose, but they break down into smaller pieces after every 465 years. Small particles may affect the plankton eaters and may lead them to choking and also may lead to death. Death will also lead to the scarcity of some of the species in the ocean. Dolphins, whales, and seals might be entangled by the plastic nets and therefore will lack oxygen and later die. Finally, it is our responsibility to ensure that our aquatic animals live in a clean habitat, free from such pollutions. We can do this by creating awareness and boycotting the use of plastic products. With me here, I have some of the books used to create awareness about the pollutions. This is about the 50 simple things you can do to save the earth, and one here is about the waste disposal. You should know how to dispose your waste. Thank you for your time, and together we can save the world, our mother planet, together for good. Thank you once more.